Good day and welcome back to the channel. After playing hooky for a day, we are back here. Apologize for the background noise. I'm back in one of my favorite spots in my neighborhood. Today I have a great story out of the South American country of Chile, and it also ties into Greece and the Mediterranean, one of my other favorite spots. I have not been to Chile, but I hope to be there next summer, possibly. It's a bucket list item of mine, and I have friends from there. So, having worked with the Chilean Navy and the Chilean Army, I hope I'll get to visit next summer. Anyway, this is a great story, and I hope you guys enjoy it. It is beautiful here, the weather, and the sun is going down. So please pardon the noise in the background. I'll try to talk over it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you're having a great week. Welcome to the third week of November. Today is Monday the 17th, and you'll probably see this on the 18th. But anyway, I hope you're having a great week, and I hope you enjoy this. This is called Man Returns Dad's Souvenir of Parthenon, and turns out it was even older Acropolis relic. We'll get right into this. I think it's very fascinating. In 2022, an older Chilean man walked into the Greek embassy in Santiago on a mission to turn himself in. Not that 77-year-old Enrico Tosticroci had done anything wrong, but rather he was putting a small family matter to rest. In the 1930s, a young Italian submariner visited Athens with the Italian Navy and paid a visit to the legendary Parthenon, a temple built to honor the goddess Athena atop the Acropolis of Athens in the 5th century BCE. There he found a small piece of marble statuary decorated with a lotus flower, and with the idea of cultural patrimony still far off beyond the world war he would eventually fight in, Gaetano Tosticroci took the piece for himself. After the war, when he immigrated to Chile, he would show it off to anyone who visited his home, a habit his son began to replicate. Quote, "When someone came to visit my home for the first time, I would show that stone and say, 'This is from the Parthenon,'" end quote, Enrico told the art newspaper. Some believed me, others didn't. He never thought much of his father's illicit souvenir until in 2022 he saw a report on the news about Greece's decades-long struggle to reclaim the Parthenon marbles from the British Museum, where substantial evidence suggests they were taken in a hasty act of looting and plunder by the British ambassador to the Ottoman Empire, Lord Elgin, in the 19th century. There was a lot of looting of Egyptian and Greek artifacts back then. Inspired by the quest for repatriating cultural heritage lost during the Dark Days, Tosticroci got up and emailed the Greek embassy's deputy chief of mission, Theodosius Theos. Theos forwarded the email to the chief of the Greek archaeological service, Olympia Vicatu, who then responded with thanks and salutations to the Chilean, as well as with the fascinating story behind the seemingly simple marble piece still in his possession. There's some great pictures that go along with this article, so I hope you'll click on it and check them out. Vicatu and colleagues believed it made up part of a basin or gutter of the Hecaton Pinna, the Acropolis' oldest monumental temple, built before the Parthenon, perhaps as early as 570 BC. According to El Pai, reporting on the story, Vicatu noted that the temple's gutter was decorated with alternating oval palmettes and lotus flowers. Theos praised the honor and courage of the Chilean citizen and hoped his virtue can shine as an example to anyone who may have also come into possession of plundered Greek antiquities. Now I won't read the rest of the article necessarily, but I will say the lotus fragment of Tosticroci has already been returned to Greece, and it was handed over to the effort of antiquities of the city of Athens. This article is only like 3 days old, so despite the 2022 date in there, it's just been reported on. There's some great pictures in there, so I hope you'll click on the link and go and check it out. I loved this article because it is about honor and integrity and doing the right thing, no matter how much time may have passed between the mistake, the infraction, the sin, whatever you want to call it, and doing the right. No matter how much time elapsed, there's always a good time to do the right thing. So I liked it. I'm into archaeology, history, things like that, and I hope that you enjoy that too. So without any more delay, we'll get into On This Day in History. On this day in history, November 17th, 1558. No, that is not what I wanted. There we go. This is what I wanted. Yes, Elizabeth I, age 25, ascends the English throne upon the death of her half-sister, Queen Mary I. I hated and despised Queen Mary I. So that's interesting. On this day in 1831, Ecuador and Venezuela separated from what was then called Gran Colombia. I did not know that. I should have known that. Here's an interesting thing I did know. On this day in 1869, the Suez Canal in Egypt opened, linking the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. That was a monumental achievement. Maybe you did not know this, but the man who was largely responsible for the Suez Canal, a man by the name of Ferdinand de Lesseps, a renowned engineer, was also heavily involved in the Panama Canal, linking Central and South America and opening trade there. 1922, on this day in history, the last Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, Mehmed VI, is expelled to Malta on a British warship. And here's something for you techies. In 1970, on this day in history, Stanford Research Institute scientist Douglas Engelbart receives the first patent for the computer mouse. And I will end today on this, which I think nicely ties in what we were talking about with the archaeology story with Chile and Greece. The mystery of time. This is from Ecclesiastes chapter 3. This is 1 through 8. There is an occasion for everything and a time for every activity under heaven. A time to give birth and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to throw stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to avoid embracing. A time to search and a time to count as lost. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to sow. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. And I will end that there. I hope that you can see the tie-in for that with the story. It is never too late to do the right thing. Sometimes it takes a while to figure out what the right thing is, but I think you will. I have faith in you that you will. And you always have someone to help you figure out what the right thing is. And that person is God. Remember that God is real. He loves you. He's everywhere you are, whether you want to be where you are or not. He's always there with you. I love you, and I hope that I will see you here tomorrow.